Thy word is a lamp unto my feet, and a light to guide my way.
Have you ever leafed through a Bible and thought, I feel so lost in this maze? Well, you're not alone. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, so let's break down the structure of the Bible so we can move around in it more easily. First, let me thank you for setting aside 5 minutes for this study. I think I can help you feel a little less intimidated by this. Well, this is a big book. While we do need to think of it as one book, getting around within its message can seem less intimidating if we think of it as a library. However, this library contains only 66 books. There are 39 books in the Old Testament and 27 books in the New Testament. Those 39 books of the Old Testament are the same that the Jews had in their Old Testaments in the days of Jesus and the apostles. Here's how they can be easily broken down into sections like a library. The first 5 books are books of law, spoken of in the New Testament. They were written by Moses for the Israelites to understand the law of the Lord and how they had been chosen by him. They cover the period of time from creation down to just before the Israelites entered the Promised Land. The next 12 books are books of history. Joshua through Esther comprise this section, and they give details of the Israelites occupying the land, the years leading up to the kings, their defeat and captivity because of sin, trials in captivity, and return from the captivity. The next 5 books are usually called wisdom literature or books of poetry. These are comprised of Job through Song of Solomon. These primarily consist of Hebrew poetry, which, by the way, does not rhyme, never did rhyme for the most part, and was not intended to rhyme. Poetry in this case was about the wisdom composed into complex parallelisms. Then we have the 5 major prophets, Isaiah through Daniel. These are called major, not for being more important than the minor prophets, but primarily because of their size. These address sins and the need for reform or to be punished by the Lord. There are also many prophecies of the Messiah and his kingdom. Lastly, we have the 12 minor prophets, equally important as the major prophets, with the same purpose of warning people about sin and presenting prophecies of the future kingdom. The New Testament is comprised of 27 books that also can be broken down into sections like a library. The first 4 books are the Gospels, which herald the good news, which is the meaning of the word gospel, by the way. They herald the good news of the coming of Jesus Christ. These are frequently placed in a section of their own, but I like to combine them with the next book, and that's the book of Acts. Acts provides details on the beginning of the church and the spread of the gospel in the first century. By combining these together, I have a distinct section of my library on history, which reaches from the coming of John the Baptist all the way to Paul's imprisonment in Rome. The next section is comprised of 21 letters written to individuals and churches, mostly during the period of time that's covered by the book of Acts. These contain a great deal of information on doctrine, which refers to teachings on various subjects. Lastly, we have a book of prophecy called the Revelation. This book was written to 7 churches in Asia about imminent events that they needed to prepare themselves for. It also ends with a beautiful description of heavenly glory for those who remain faithful to the Lord. Well, as we go along in this series, we're going to present other details to make the Bible easier to understand. In our next 3 videos, we're going to talk about how the Bible came to be, from getting the Bible into the minds of men to it coming down to us in our modern translations.